Our guest today is a 6'4" Heisman winning quarterback from Bessemer, Alabama. He was the first pick in the 2015 NFL Draft from Florida State University. He's a Pro Bowler, BCS National Champion, and the greatest dub eater. We are so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed us to be podcasting with the one and only Jameis Winston.
Yes, the greatest W eater in the world. No, man, I'm grateful to be here with y'all, man. No, just y'all aura, y'all essence, and the fact that y'all are changing cultures and generations as brothers, man, united through y'all work on the field, y'all work off the field, man. It's truly
entire NFL. You are notorious for your speeches, for your game. It's been so cool to just see your career transpire to where you are today, and just see you just like full of life. You know what I mean? This NFL world could beat you up, man, and you just keep, fueling everybody with the energy. And I just love it, man. I appreciate just who you are as a man. So thank you for jumping on here, dog. We're about to have some fun though, man. You told us earlier you're on the Normatex, dog. Is the body feeling good?
The body is feeling great, man. I just, one of my OGs, Anquan Bolden, he always said it's better to stay in shape than get out of shape than try to get back in it, man. So I'm always staying on top of my body. Ever since you shared that with me, you gotta say, you know that y'all both in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I get to sit back and throw the ball because of you, Jason, and I get to throw the ball to guys like you, Travis. So y'all in the trenches, so y'all obviously got to stay on top of y'all body, but it's the least you can do, man. That 1% every day is so important.
I got to ask you, did you catch Wild Card Weekend this past week?
Man, you know I did.
All right.
Tuned in.
A lot of young quarterbacks. A lot of young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Who impresses you, or who impressed you the most this first weekend?
Man, I got to go with Drake, It's because, Josh, Matt, they did it in the time when they're supposed to do it. Like, they know when the ball is in their hand at the end of the game, you guys are franchise quarterbacks, you have to come through. But I just think the consistency that Drake May has played with this entire year has been impressive, right? Like, especially like his offensive coordinator just got fired last year.
Yeah.
His head coach, was they parted ways a year before, and he's coming onto this tour. Mike Vrabel, I got a chance to spend some time with him in Cleveland. Didn't know he was from Cleveland.
Northeast Ohio, baby.
For him to go there, right, with a young quarterback after the year that Drake had the year prior, and to have them in the position that they in now, bro, it's like with all the great clouds that's been around that team this year, and this quarterback still shows up and shows out, man, and gives that team a chance to win against a tough defense now. Like, the LA Chargers is a tough defense.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
And like, you see a lot of young quarterbacks winning like those big games where they throw for 4 touchdowns, and but very, very few, very rarely are you seeing quarterbacks of this generation winning the games where things ain't going right early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's playing 4 quarters of football, and that's what it's really about. It ain't just the splash plays here, splash plays there, but Drake May, man, he continues to impress me.
I love it. You brought something up there I want to just touch on. You brought up, he's got a new offensive coordinator. How many offensive coordinators have you played for, Jameis?
1, 2, 4 to 5, man.
Yeah.
4 to 5, maybe 6 or 7. 6, 7.
Well,
I need to stop doing that.
There we go.
But a lot, bro. A lot.
So you've been in a bunch of different systems. Can you tell when an offensive coordinator is just dealing in a play call? I know what it feels like in the run game, where it's like, man, it just feels like it's all clicking. What's that like as a quarterback? Like, can you tell during the week it's like, oh, we got some things designed for these guys coming up? Or is it like an in the game moment where you're just like, oh no, he's rattling them off?
I think this is the sense. Like, and I know you guys know this because y'all offensive guys. Like, when we go out there and execute the first 15, okay, we know we got them. Like, we're supposed to execute that.
Yeah.
What shows me if we're really dialing it up is when the coach pulls something that was installed in OTAs.
Yeah.
And I'm in a hold, I'm just like, hey, give me outright, 37 blue, whatever.
Yeah.
And it hits. And we're like, oh yeah, he in his bag. Yeah. I know that one on the install.
Yes.
And it's a feel, right? Like, when a guy has a feel, or if a guy is just like, I'm just calling what's on his play sheet, right? I'm not looking at what the defense is actually doing. I'm calling what's on the play sheet. And I think one of the best play callers that I experienced was Sean Payton. And he had this feel because he played the position. He played the position. I played with two guys that played three, because Sean, Ken Dorsey, and Byron Leftwich. He did his thing in Tampa too.
Byron.
You know, and we had some historical. Yeah, we had a very historical year there. But back to Sean and Byron, they had the ability to sense what was going on, what actually was happening in the game, not what we scouted out during the week. You know, not their tendencies. But they saw what the defense was doing. They were able to say, okay, I know what they're doing. We're doing this. And it hits. Yeah. You know, and that's a beautiful feeling as an offense.
Hell yeah.
I could not agree more. I love you saying, ripping a play that isn't on the game plan. You haven't practiced all week, but it's one of those ones that you repped it in OTAs. You should know how to do this against every defense. So it's like, why not? Like, if you think it's there, don't waste any time. Who the hell cares what's on our 2nd and 10 play calls? Like, just freaking rip that one out.
One thing I always, like, when I talk to like offensive coordinators, like, why do you see the McVays and people like that literally run the Andy Reeds, that run the same play over and over again if the defense can't stop it?
Yeah.
And then you have guys where it's like, hey, well, we already showed that, so did it work? did that play just work? Yeah. So we're saying in this one game, this is the only time we get to run this play against this team, because we know we ain't gonna carry it over the next week because you're saying we already ran it once. Yeah. Like, why not run the play that's been working for us?
I hear you.
Yeah. You know, and I think as an offensive coordinator, I got a lot of respect for them, for them to have that much confidence in their bag that they don't want to run the play that just worked.
I gotta ask you on the flip side though, have you ever been in the huddle and you just hear a play call and you just know, like, man, I don't know about this one, man. There's a pretty big down right here in the game, man. I don't know. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. All right, boys, this is what we're gonna do.
Those moments have came up. But like, I'm a persuasive person. You know, you got those people that they write the narratives. You know, they write the persuasive essays. They write the derogatory essays. I'm a persuasive essay writer.
Okay.
Right? So when a play is getting called into me, even if it sounds like straight poo, I gotta make it sound good to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those guys, like, I'm a believer in, like, I'm obsessed with it. Like, okay, we put in the work. Like, if the play is poo, I get it. I'll come to the sidelines and like, hey, please don't call that again. but if you call it, like, I'm gonna find a way to execute this play.
You got to.
You know?
We don't got no other way. Yeah.
There's been numerous clips that I've seen you, Jason, have to change your protection. Like, oh, no way. There ain't no way we slide away from this guy right here. And it's been thousands of clips where I've seen you, Travis, know your butt supposed to have a simple sail route. And what you do, you feel zoned and you just will
curl it up there, right there.
You on the same page, right? You know, but that's what it is. It's not just capability, it's the capacity to know, like, this is the right thing to do. Like, I know what I'm gonna get here. So I'm capable and I got the capacity enough of the work that I put in that I'm gonna make the right decision. And I'm gonna help this coach be a better coach.
There you go. I love it. I'm just doing whatever you want me to do, Jameis. That's all I'm doing. I'm just out there. I'm seeing it with you. I know you want me to hook it up right there. I know you want me to hook it up.
I love that. And that's why you win. That's why you win a lot.
Speaking of your old coach, Sean Payton, him and Bo Nix are rolling right now, man. They're rolling right now. They got the Bills coming in hot. Now, watching Sean Payton's offense this year, I don't know if you've seen a lot of it on film and just been peeking at what they got going over there in Denver, but can you see similarities and stuff he's transferred over, or is this like a whole new world because Bo Nix he's just a different type of quarterback?
Well, Bo is from Alabama, so I got a lot of respect for him, and he can do it all. Right, but Sean has really been in his bag this year, man. Like the amount of plays that he's been able to move the pocket for Bo, the amount of yards that they've been able to create on the perimeter by just getting the ball out of Bo's hand and letting the receivers get yak after that. Sean is a situational guru, and I have to commend Bo on this. Bo probably hasn't had the most efficient first, second, and third quarter this year. He was way more efficient last year. As a rook. But in the fourth quarter, he and Sean Payton have been finding ways to win the freaking game. And I think that's what I'm talking about, these young quarterbacks with Bo. And like, okay, you can win the game. Well, you could tell, like, people put quarterbacks, game managers, right? Like, but at the end of the day, when it's 3rd and 7, and you know the defense is gonna be in man, right? You still have to make the throw. Like it's not gonna be, oh, you managed the game, like just check the ball here. No, you still have to make the play, and Bo Nix have been making the plays for the Denver Broncos to win games.
Oh yeah,
you're speaking truth
Jason,
to me right
Jason's
now.
gone on rants about this already.
Well, not even just like Bo Nix and Drake, but Caleb last week, right, against the Packers. Why does a quarterback all of a sudden become more accurate on harder throws? I want to ask you this: why is a quarterback all of a sudden more accurate on harder throws? Is there like a sense of like, I know I got to put
moments,
this in, and you like lock in more, or is it just like that's the way this guy's wired?
It's the routes on air effect, right? Like some quarterbacks, I would say this: Sam Bradford was the most accurate quarterback I ever seen in my life.
Okay, all right, there we go.
7 on 7, there was not. You were there with him.
Oh yeah,
there was not a ball that touched the ground.
Yes,
right. But once you get into a game, like the anticipatory throw that you making with pressure in your face, unorthodox movements. I think Patrick is elite at this. Being able to throw the ball and be accurate from a different angle, that's just God-given talent. And that's just that it factor that Caleb Williams possesses, where like he likes chaos more than he likes stillness and peace.
Seriously, no, that's what it looks like.
No, seriously.
It's almost like it's like boring to him. Like he's got, all right, I got a comeback route, and then all of a sudden he sails it, but then all of a sudden he's running to his left on 4th down, and he puts the ball in like a freaking 4x4 window down the field. Man. It's insane.
Because it's no thinking. Nuts. It's no thinking to that, right? When a guy's wide open, man, we have to think, well, oh my goodness, I can't miss this. Oh, it's too late. No, but when it's 4th down, that 4th and 8 throw that he made moving to the left,
gotta throw it. There's no making that
other
decision.
choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's either gonna look amazing or it's gonna look bad. You know. And iconically, like he's made these plays against a similar opponent, right? Because at the end of the season when they played Green Bay, and his 4th quarter was amazing. Like, it's just something to a quarterback being able to not turn it on, but fall back into their training.
I have to ask you this, man. It takes guys to have the most ridiculous backstory, one of the best careers ever, to get a 30 for 30, like in their 50s when it's all said and done and everybody's looking back. You literally have a 30 for 30. 30 tubs and 30. How crazy was that year? And the roller coaster ups and downs. You were out there firing it, man.
Well, Travis, bro, again, I had a coordinator, right? Byron Leftwich. And one, Bruce Arians, we go way back, bro. I'm talking about like Little League football, not Little League, but like middle school football. Like he used to have these camps in Birmingham, Alabama, right? Because his son was a kicker at UAB in Birmingham. I think Cincinnati played against him.
Oh yeah.
But he used to have these camps. So I knew Bruce and I knew his mentality of the no risk it, no biscuit.
No risk it, no biscuit.
And bro, and I took that because I love Bruce. I took that to heart, bro. Like, so I got Mike Evans, I got Chris Godwin.
Let's go.
I had a young OJ. Like, we finna let this ride. Like, we got too much talent to be holding on to the football, you know. Unfortunately, the ball ended up in the defense hands too much, you know, and you know, that still sit with me, but you know, that was a contract year for me, man. And that was one of the most up and down years off the field that I had in my life too, man. I just asked my wife to marry me, man. And I was doing this freaking celibacy thing, like literally refraining from sex, man. Bro,
that's
I bought like my parents were talking to me about shacking, like in the South. Shacking is like when you living with your significant other, you know, in a house. Like, we had to eliminate that, bro. I literally bought a property and stayed away, you know, from my house. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like,
you were
bro,
wound
it was
up
so
back
much
there in the pocket, man.
It was so much going on, bro.
Don't take a black light into that house, you know.
It was the first year, and you guys know, it was the first year in my life that my dad wasn't coming to any of my football games, bro. His brother, my uncle, had passed. He was going through some things with COVID. And my grandmother passed a year before. Oh, man. So my dad was dealing with some things, man. So just spiritually of the family, like, we just were going through it. And I was having a great game, or I was having, you know, a not so great game. And it was coincided with what was happening off the field. And that's why when I talk to these young athletes, I asked them, like, man, what are you consistently doing outside of the building too? Because if you are consistently being up and down outside of the building, it's gonna come on the field. It's gonna come a time and a place where, in the players, we can see, our teammates can see it better than anybody. You can see when somebody is locked in and when somebody is going through something. And I'm the person where, like, I'm obsessed with it. So I'm overly locked in. I'm trying to go overboard. I'm trying to make every throw because of what I'm dealing with off the field as well. I got my first coordinator that's played the game, like played Byron Leftwich, man. He dialing it up. He's doing his thing, man. We broke records, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to impress him. I got Bruce Arians, a guy that showed me my very first Super Bowl ring, right? And I'm doing everything that he's telling me to do, right? And I tell everybody, like, man, go back and check the tape. I told him at the end, check the tape. See how many of those interceptions was really like joint efforts.
We were installing a lot of those plays in Philly. We were watching a lot of Jameis Winston that year. Because, like, man, look what this dude's doing down here. You know what I mean?
We were electric, right? We were electric. And obviously everyone knows, like, okay, offensively, we got to make the most of our possessions, right? Because it hurts everybody. It hurts everybody. The offensive line, when we drive the ball down the field and boom, you throw a pick. The thing is about this, interceptions do hurt, right? But how we were growing as a team was so inspiring to see. Our defense wasn't lights out at the beginning of the year. But toward the end of the year, they just were like, hey, Jameis, I got your back. Like, we got you. We know you're going to let it fly. Like, we got your back. Levante David over there, I'm going to go get you one. I'm going to go get you one, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Carlton Davis like, oh, okay, I'll lock it down. Like, that started to happen. And then, boom, poof, they get Tom Brady, they win the Super Bowl next year. It was going to happen with me, but they decided to get Tom Brady to make it seem like it was him that did it. You know what I'm saying? And Gronk and AB and Leonard Fournette and Tristan Wirfs. I'm going to stop.
The team really was a super team. You brought up advice you have for young quarterbacks. You're with a young quarterback right now in New York. What's it been like operating with Jackson Dart in your role within the Giants? You're doing great. You're in the player engagement room right now. Like, what? I love this. Talk about commitment. We're like, 3 weeks into the offseason? Most people are, Hawaii right now? My man's in the freaking player engagement room.
But it's the vision of, okay, like, man, I done had a lot of short seasons, right? I only been in the playoffs once, you know what I'm saying? But through this entire reign, I'm just like, man, like, what can I do from an obsessive state to stay engaged? Like, I'm gonna keep training, I'm gonna keep preparing. Like, I want to play and win in the Super Bowl.
I hear you.
So I'm not gonna be out the building, and I'm not taking the trips to Cabo like right after the season. You know what I'm saying? Now, if somebody got a job for me to go make some money for my family, I go do that. But like, I'm like, bro, like, I love this. Like, it's still football season. Do you know how painful it is? And Travis, you got to deal with this some this year because it's been a long time since you. And Jason, you dealt with it a lot, last year of you, deciding to stop playing. How when you put in everything, man, and you started from OTAs and like, these teams have a 1 year lifespan, and then just out of nowhere, everything just stops. The preparation, the sweat equity, the togetherness, it just stops, man. That hurts. So I try my best to just try to do as much as I can with what I have and simulate me preparing for the Super Bowl. But let's talk about Jackson Dart, man.
Come on now.
You know when a dog walk in the room. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. You know when a dog walk in the room, man. And since when he first stepped foot in this building, man, he's been a dog, And I just really value like his work ethic. Like, I wish I could have seen just the sweat equity he was put in with Brian Dable. And I know Dave's got fired, man, but like those guys were tied at the hip, because he is obsessed with football.
That's awesome.
And anybody that's coming in to be our head coach, you got to know that you got a guy that wants to win. He's gonna win because he's special, but he's obsessed. In this day and age, man, you got people that are they're more worried about what they get from football than focus on what they can do for football.
Yeah, man,
you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like it's that old JFK quote. You know what I'm saying? Ask not what your country could do for you. Ask what you could do for your country.
Yeah,
that's the type of kid he is. Like his family that he comes from is just a great, wholesome family, man. He loves football. He's a dog. I'm just trying to work with him about calculated risk because he'll run over a safety or a cornerback at any time.
It's been a few times but you already know. You see those collisions, man.
Look, linebackers and D linemen. Look, we're not talking no smack to no D linemen because you don't want to because your offensive line got to pay for that. And we're not trying to run over no linebackers unless it's for fourth down or the end zone.
Can't take them on thick. You got to roll. You got to roll a little bit when you hit them. You can't just take them on straight up. You're gonna jack up your AC joints.
But I'd rather a young quarterback be about it than be scared.
No, for sure. Rather say roll than go.
For sure.
Dude, there was. I'm so glad you said it. I don't want to talk trash to the D line because that offensive line got to feel that. I still remember getting ready for an NFC Championship game, and my man Brandon Graham's in there, and he's talking so much trash to Dexter Lawrence. I'm like, bro, will you shut the hell up? I gotta block this dude. I ain't trying to rev this dude up. What are you doing over here, BG? But nah, I'm riding with my dog. But I got to ask you this. You just said your goal is to win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. What are you doing to realize that goal? Like, what's it going to take for Jameis Winston to get to a Super Bowl? Obviously, there's a team and all that stuff, but everything that you can control, what are you doing?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm doing is speaking life into my teammates, right? Because a lot of these young guys, new generation guys, they look for affirmations and stuff that let them know that I'm where I belong. You know,
reassurance,
and that's the simple thing that I'm doing is being impeccable with my word, right? Because it starts with a plan, right? And my plan is to be impeccable with my word, be a man of increase in the building, so everybody can attract that, and then they go out and do it out there on the field, right? The second thing is just me doing what I love. I love playing football, man. Me going out there and working, you know, and hopefully they see me working when I invite them to come get some of this extra work for the betterment of both of us. They join me, right? And that starts with just culture. Like, we're building that we're going to go the extra mile. We're building that we're willing and able to do anything, you know, for some success, right? And the third thing, which really should be the first thing, is just instilling faith into my teammates, man. That like they here for a reason. Like, this ain't no coincidence that they here. It's so challenging to see these confident, moxie young athletes just not really believe, not believe in something that's bigger than them, man.
Amen.
You know, and that's just what I take pride in, because I know how it is to be trying to please a man, trying to please somebody else, man. But it is nothing that competes with knowing that I fight from victory and not for victory, for what God and what Christ has did for me, right? And me instilling just those kingdom values, kingdom morals in them, it's going to at least help them be a better man when they get off the field. And one thing my trainer always say, you know, being a better football player would never make you a better man, but being a better man to make you a better football player. There you go. So that's that's my impact.
You're going right into coaching, Jameis. You got too many in the bag. You got too many in the bag, man. You
got me wanting to go strap it back up right now.
But it's sweat equity. Like, you put in that sweat equity, man. You know what it is to win Super Bowls. You guys are Super Bowl champions, and you know it's those little things. Like, I haven't been privileged to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying? But y'all have, so y'all know that 1% that you put in. Like, my question is to y'all is like, how do you continue to like reciprocate that? How do you allow that message to just have a great vibrational frequency and not be stopped by people with that don't have that mindset? Because every year you guys done it on multiple teams, so you've done it with new guys. It's not like college where you got dynasties and all this stuff. You guys have found a way to win with multiple guys. So what's y'all approach for welcoming and inviting other people that don't have the mentality that you have, is not cut from the same cloth as you, and transforming them into being Super Bowl champions?
Right.
You want to start with it, Trev?
I think you've already hit everything that I could even, bring to the table. Is you gotta show everybody you love this shit, man. And you got to show it every single day by your attention to detail, by how you show up to work, your energy when you walk in the building. Is my hood on or is my hood off? And I'm ready to rock and roll. And I'm looking everybody in the eyes and I'm like, you ready to get this shit? You ready to see this install? You ready to get after it today? And just having that sense of urgency and that integrity to come in to do something that you absolutely love. And, not everybody plays the game for the same reason. I understand that. But when you show up with that integrity and that work ethic, like, it's staying true more than not that guys will find that as something they want to be a part of. and they'll see how you're doing it, and they'll look themselves in the mirror and want to do even more, you know. And that's really the biggest thing, is setting that culture from the top down, man, making sure that everybody's doing that, from you know, the coaches to the players to the first guy, or the guys that are on the field to the guys that are on the practice squad. Everybody's got to have that love and desire every single time, and alertness and the attention to details they walk into the building, man. We've been talking about some dogs. You got another dog in New York, Cam Skattebo. The other side of the Wonder Bread right there, man. You got to tell us about this guy, man. The world doesn't know enough about him yet.
Let me tell you something, man. Look, I was, and this is going to be a perfect example for this. For Cam, it is. Do y'all know where Cam from?
No.
I wonder where Cam's from.
I feel like... Go ahead.
Arizona?
Cam is from Sacramento, California.
What?
Okay, there we go.
You would never in the
I don't know
world
why.
think that this man is from Sacramento, California.
Would have never made the connection, yeah.
And that puzzling that y'all had in your eyes is exactly how I was puzzled when I saw him. Man, when I tell you, look, so I was watching Lilo and Stitch with the kids, right? And you know how like Lilo is in this other land, but you know, he steals the ship to escape that land because he about to go to prison or whatever, and he just finds his way on the earth.
Yeah.
That's where Cam Skattebo is. He is from a football kingdom somewhere else. And somebody just dropped his crazy ass on earth
so good, man.
and said, go run that pill. Because that is how he plays, man. He plays with a passion and a desire to kill, to hunt. And when like, this what got me. So I told Scat, you know, I was warning him, we had these conversations, because, you know, we had Russ in the room, and Jackson, he's young, he just bless him. He said, you know, Cam, you know, Scat is about the same size as Marshawn Lynch. And Russ gave him a look. He said, yeah, right. He said, Marshawn's thigh is the same size as Cam Scat. Listen, and I doubled down. I was like, Jackson, I don't know if come on now, you can't just him to beast mode. Like, right. Like, he tote that rock, he tough, but come on, he ain't the same size. Man, when we played against Kansas City, and him and Nick Bolton met in that hole, and you know Bolton built like a refrigerator truck. You know what I'm saying? He is grounded. He is put together.
Trunk.
And when he ran over Nick Bolton in that hole, I said, okay, this white boy right here is something serious. I said, he right here, he is something serious. I don't know if he ran him over, but
no,
he took
either way, I gotta ask him about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Know, I gotta hear
like it. And immediately, you know, people start giving him names. Peyton Ellis, Mike Allstott. You know what I'm saying? They whitewashing it. No. Man, he is toting that pill. I said, not the size, but like Earl Campbell, man, he putting his hand in there, man. And he going through guys, man. Like Bo Jackson, like he don't got the speed like Bo. But I'm just saying, man, he is putting his head down and falling forward, bro.
Yes.
Like, and Jason, you respect this. It's a difference when the running back can give you 3, and when a running back can make 3 turn into 7.
That's big time, man.
Because you know in the fourth quarter, that 7 gonna turn into 12. And that 12 is gonna eventually be a breakout run for us to really step on their neck. Yes. And that is what he gave us. And honestly, y'all talked about Jackson and we talked about the hits he took. But having a running back like that is what took some of those hits off of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because Jackson felt that he had to bring that to the team. Yeah. Right? But that's what Cam was for this team. He was that enforcer, a young enforcer that was confident. Like one of the funniest stories, man. Like, so against the Eagles, when it was wearing that Kelly green, I love that Kelly green. Oh my God, it's one of the most beautiful jerseys in the world. Whew. Okay. We're playing against the Eagles, and he runs a little choice route, man, and he gets regular Zach Bond falling on his ankle, and he fractures his ankle. Yep. Man, Greg Van Roten is out there trying to help him up. And he said, Scat was just, he's like, help me up. Help me up. He's like, I don't think so. Like, your ankle is going. He said, but the guys out there said, help me up. I got it. Like, and that's the toughness that he possesses, man. So he is from a different planet, bro, with his passion, his enthusiasm, and really his love for football, y'all. Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
It oozes out of him, man.
One more thing from this past year. You kind of did your best version of a tight end impersonation here this season. Can we pull up this clip? Can we pull up this highlight? What's going on in your head when this play gets called in, when you're running it? Like, give us the start to finish.
So the start to finish was, I just hope he give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about giving number one receivers and number one tight ends the ball, all you gotta do is give them a chance.
No risk it, no biscuit, baby.
And when we see this double reverse pass, when I toss him this pill, I'm just like, man, I know I'm about to score a touchdown. Like, I've been waiting on this moment my whole life. And as I run down that sideline, I throw my hand up.
Oh, he Randy Mossed him.
And that is called attacking the football. And that's called rap.
With the fillet at the end.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh my God,
man. I was waiting for that moment. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that was good eyes by that D lineman. He really was a linebacker, but he can't guard me.
Nah,
he can't
tackle you either.
Nuh-uh.
Oh man, that was fucking electric, man.
I wish I was the commentator, the media person to ask, the defensive coordinator about, hey coach, what do you think when the New York Football Giants did that wide receiver pass? And it doesn't matter what you think. pull a rock on them. You know what I'm saying? Just let them know it don't matter.
Oh my gosh, man. Did you know where the camera was? Did you feel the camera over there? It is pure cinema. It is beautiful. It is one of my favorite clips of all time, man. Because you definitely don't expect you to be able to make a play, come back to the ball. Then you give them the in the field, shake them, get them off you, come into the end zone, finger roll, get excited with the teammates, and then just right into the camera, bro. It is so epic every time I watch it.
I got the confirmation from my boy in Detroit, Devin Funches. He from Detroit.
Shout out, D Funches.
I said, hey man, like when I scored a touchdown, like I really want to hit a dance. He said, you know what to kill Detroit? He said, do the boss up on him. I said, all right. So in the night meal, I'm talking to, we got Nick Jones, who played for Kansas City, who's also from Detroit.
Oh yeah.
He done bought everybody some wings, right, from Detroit, this wing spot. So I'm chewing on some wings, I said, hey Nick. He said, yeah. I said, man, what about this dance right here? When I score a touchdown tomorrow, I'm gonna do this dance. So I show him the dance. And he said, oh yeah. He said, yeah, the city really gonna love that. So I had to put on for the city, man. I was grateful for that.
God damn, dude. That shit was epic, man.
I appreciate y'all.
I gotta ask you, as an Eagle, you played us twice this year. Season just ended. A lot of questions about the offense. I mean, I know you didn't probably watch a lot of Eagles offense. What did you see? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, the main thing that I saw was, we can talk about simplicity and offense. We can talk about all that stuff. But Jalen Hurts, he finds a way to win games. And the running game wasn't as prolific as it was last year, right? Jalen didn't use his legs as much as he did, in the years prior, when you went deep into the playoffs. So it's that balance of, okay, we know Jalen, he likes space, he likes things being open. Like, but how can we put him in the best position for him as well, right? Like, how can we protect him, right? Because you need your quarterback, but also use the gifts that he has. And one of those gifts is his legs. And I just don't think that catered enough to him, because I feel like that balance between having to stop Jalen Hurts and stop Saquon Barkley was tough, right? But I don't think defenses really feared that this year. They knew, they were like, okay, they're gonna try to protect Jalen. And I don't know, I haven't talked to Jalen. I don't know if he was dealing with an injury or anything, but I just feel like y'all dominated the trenches, really. Pass blocking wise, that offensive line still is among the top in terms of pass blocking. Yes. But in terms of running game, your running game was not as prominent as it has been in the past. And I think it starts, like, this, Travis, because Andy is adamant about establishing a run game. Yes, y'all do everything with quick games and stuff.
You know it, man.
But exactly, he depends on that run game, because that's what takes the wheel of a defense. And I just think that offensively, the Eagles didn't have that factor where they are going to finish games with the run. They did it against us. Tank Bigsby, he had a great day. But when crunch time came, when the Eagles are up, like, it should be a win, especially in the fourth quarter, right? Because they can run the football. Y'all weren't able to run the football as effectively.
Yeah.
And another thing, man, like, and I love AJ and I love Jalen, but it's a beautiful thing to see Jalen, Devonta, what they do outside of the numbers, because it's either a go or a stop, and if it's second and short, it's gonna be a slant. Like, it's a 3-route minimum, 3 route minimum that they're doing. And the execution that they have in those crunch moments, it has to be above 90%. Like, I'm not throwing 50-50 balls to A.J. Brown. I'm throwing 90-10 balls to A.J. Brown. I'm not throwing 50-50 balls to Devonta Smith. I'm throwing 90-10. Like, Travis, you know this. When it's crunch time, all of us together, no matter the angst that we have with each other, all of us have to produce when our team need us to produce. It ain't about who getting targets, but the defense know what we gonna do. We know what we're gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
And last year, again, y'all executed it on those one-on-one opportunities on the outside, right? So I don't think it's rocket science, right? Like, one thing about Jalen, we talk about me and the amount of offense coordinators. Like, Jalen hasn't had continuity, and I know it's probably the same scheme, but he hasn't had the same voice for a year, like for multiple years in a long time. And that's challenging as a quarterback to get different coaching points, to get a different word. Like, when you don't have that discipline, when you are a disciplined quarterback, Jalen is very disciplined. He's straight and narrow.
Oh, it is.
For you to have different voices every year when you're trying to lead a team to the promised land, it's challenging, man.
It is.
It's so challenging.
I think you hit it on the head, man, because I remember the last year, and the run game with Saquon, obviously 2,000-yard rusher. I mean, you can't substitute that. But teams are going to adjust. Teams are going to adjust to how you're playing them or how effective you are with it. But I remember in the Super Bowl, man, even when we were trying to claw back and have any chance there in the second quarters, the third quarters, man, we get it in a third and medium, third and long, and he would use his legs, and it wouldn't just be for a first down; it'd be for a huge gain, and all of a sudden they're
explosive.
They're in an opportunity to kick a field goal, and we just had them on a third and manageable in in their own territory. So it's just being able to, I don't know, just him being able to use his legs is. It's night and day, man.
It's a happy balance, right? Like, there are calls where the quarterback moves. Patrick has a lot of those.
A lot of them.
Where he's moving the pocket, right? Where he's putting the defense, like, because if you pressure him, you got a risk that we're moving the pocket and you're pressing in the area that's vacated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And if we play zone, now it's the two-edged sword. Now he can beat us with our legs. And God forbid you play man. Now our back is turned against him, right? Like, I believe, like, it's some creativity that can help Jalen perfect his craft, man, because he is an elite talent. Like, you see the accuracy, you see the ability to win the tough game and the big game. But now he needs continuity for once. Like, every great quarterback done had continuity. Like, you can't tell me a quarterback that's been freaking flipping OCs. That's what he doing. He flipping OCs like real estate properties. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be important for the organization and for him to have a similar voice, man. I don't think it's fair for him, Jalen, in terms of his quarterback. And I know he's okay with it. Like, nothing phases him.
Oh, yeah,
he's a very disciplined and structured guy. But from an outside looking in, I told you this, Jace. I grew up an Eagles fan, so I'm rooting for the city of brother love to win. You know what I'm saying? And not when they play against us, the Giants, but outside of that, to win, right?
Yeah.
And for their quarterback, for this to be their franchise guy, like, you have to make an effort into at least catering to his needs. And I think one thing that's required is for him to have a consistent voice that he wants, that he loves, that allows him to be in his element.
I love everything you're saying right there, man. I really do. And I agree with it. I really do. The one thing you brought up, man, like it's not even just the new play caller and getting a feel for that. It's just the verbiage too. Like, I was so lucky to have Stout for a long time. I would we're on like our third different head coach, and I'd be calling a blitz, what we called it with Chip Kelly. Mm-hmm. But because we knew what it was, like, I'd be on the, hey, they're bringing Wasp, right?
Yeah.
And like the other coach is like, what the hell are you talking about? And Stout's like, oh, he's talking about the free safety. Will
free safety, yeah.
A lot of that gets like homogenized in your brain. And for a guy like Jalen, like, in the moment, like, even just communicating with guys, communicating with your teammates, that's hard when the verbiage is changing constantly. I haven't ever thought about that, but it was hard for me. So I know it's hard for him. He's been through it a lot.
One thing I wanted to ask you, because I think that's a great point because obviously, Travis, like you reached that pinnacle and you still going. It's crazy how you freaking still turning up.
My verbiage has been the same since I've been in Kansas City. So I don't know what you guys are talking. I experienced it one time in one of the Pro Bowls I played in. I had to go in there and learn a whole new offense. I'm like, bro, I'm not running any of these routes. I'm just gonna see whatever covers there. Mac Jones was throwing me daggers that I was supposed to be running. I'm running go routes.
but to that point, Jason, you've experienced you had 3 different head coaches?
4
different head coaches. So you know what a head coach looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for us, for the Giants, us being in this position that we in, like some people aren't blessed with having a head coach for the majority of their career. You know, some people have different regime changes, but you've won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different head coaches.
Yeah.
What are those key qualities of a leader in a head coach that teams should be looking for to win football games? Because that's what we all after.
Yeah.
We are because this is my perspective. My perspective is like, hey, like we're all self-policing. Like it's our team, right? Like no crap. We the one out there doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Right. But like, what does these men or what does your team have that kind of makes up for a head coach? Or what does that head coach have that allows a veteran guy, a veteran person to your status that has a foundation that is established in his role? What makes him want to follow a new coach coming in?
That's a good question.
Man, I think I was really fortunate in Philadelphia. Although we had a lot of coaching changes, we had a great locker room and a great building. And Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, it all started with Andy Reid, really. And I learned from Brent Selleck, all these players before me, and there's a sense of unity and honestly, because I was drafted to Philly, an unrealistic idea of loyalty from the organization. I never got cut. I never went to another organization. I was only in this one. And I think between me, Lane Johnson was that way, Fletcher Cox was that way, Brandon Graham was that way. Philadelphia, even through the changes, they did a great job of retaining pieces. Like Jeff Stoutland, I had 4 different head coaches. I only had 2 offensive line coaches. That's rare that offensive line coach stays through head coaches. That's rare that Deuce Staley stays. Mm-hmm. I think the organization does a great job of keeping pieces. So Philadelphia has always had this tight mindset and the locker room, and that has always been well established. And then when a coach comes in with some fresh ideas, a lot of energy, a moxie to him, and he's surrounded with other great coaches, and you already know how he's going to build. What allows us to win Super Bowls? We have some pretty damn good players. That's the reality of it. And the coaches, Doug was a player, so he knew how to navigate, especially older players who knew what they were doing. He was great in top of building that energy and that motivation, infusing belief. And then with Nick, it's the same way. We didn't win one with Nick. We went to one with Nick. He won one last year. Nick is very good, one of the best at coaching in the team meeting. A lot of times I get into the team meeting, I'm like, man, what are we going to talk about today? What's going to happen? Nick is so good at maximizing and communicating to the team, situational ball, little stories that I feel like sometimes are made up, probably a lot of times are made up. But they get you going. They get the juices going. They set your mindset right. Those. At the end of the day, you still need the players. You need great coordinators. You need a great quarterback. But I think that between Nick and Doug, both of those guys were really, really good at talking to the team, at spreading the message, at communicating with players, right? Doug used to have the player council meeting, so all the leaders would go and talk to the head coach. I think you get a good pulse for the team. Because really, as a head coach, what I want to see is a guy that is I want to see a guy that he wants the best for me and the best for us, and he's maximizing everything he can to get the best out of me. Mm-hmm. And that can come away whether you're a player's coach, whether you're MFing me. I don't care if you're MFing me if you got my best interest at heart. You want the best for me, I get it. I'm right here. But if I feel like you're MFing me because there's some ulterior motive for you, selfishly, Nah, fuck me, no fuck you. I don't want
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, you want to
You ain't even
dance?
talk to me like that.
You want to dance? Let's go.
That is so important, right?
Yeah.
Like what you just stated right there, and I think we sense that. Like
Yeah.
we know when a message is from another human or if it's from a higher up. Like, man,
Yeah.
don't feed me what you heard from somebody else.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
tell me what you
God.
think.
What's in here,
Preach.
man? What's in here? What are you looking for in the Giants' new coach, man?
Man, I'm looking for a stern leader. I believe that we got a great young room, but I believe, like you said, that energy, man, that understanding, like what it takes to be a player is required, especially with this new generation, man. We need discipline.
Yep.
Because when you got young guys, we need somebody that know how to steer that ship to where we're going. Right? We got one mission, and that's win games and win the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah.
We need consistency. We need someone that's gonna be who they are every single day, right? The emotions as a head coach, like it's Dirk Cutter, my first OC, he always shared, passion versus emotion. We don't need emotions, man, because games are gonna have ebbs and flows. We need passion. We need to know that you love us. We need to know that you're for us. We need to know that you're gonna make business decisions during the business decision time. Like during the course of a season, we need you believing in what you presented us at the beginning of the season, and not going back to your B plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? and I feel like the third thing, man, we need someone that is going to give us a complete paradigm shift, man. Because when you have an organization, over the past a few years that hasn't been accustomed to winning, you have to bring in a winner.
Yes.
You can't bring in somebody that over the course of the past few years hasn't won, because that's doing the same thing that you've been doing. You have to bring in somebody that is a winner through and through. And if you look at his pedigree, he's won everywhere he's been. Or you bring in a new guy and you start the slate clean, right? And you use the culture, like you said, with Howard Roseman. You use the Byron Burns and the Dexter Lawrences and myself and the Andrew Thomases, and you use those guys, build around those guys, and you cater to that. And you see, these are my leadership roles. This is my counsel. Like, what is going to make this team the best team possible?
I think you just hit it on the head. It's like, how are you conducting? You got their leaders, you got your guys that have experience, that know how to do it. And you're just doing that, man. You're being accountable when you mess up. You're showing up and you're putting the work in. You're showing up and you're competing with maniacal, relentless energy. Like, no, it ain't acceptable. It's not acceptable to lose here. That's not, like, I know it's just a Thursday, but I take this personal.
The passion.
Yeah, all of that stuff rubs off, and that you're 100% right. That's exactly where you're at if you're the New York Giants. You sign guys, you bring guys in like yourself, guys that have had success, guys that are relentlessly passionate about playing the game, and then that rubs off on everybody.
That passion just got to ooze out of you, man. Before we get to this last segment, I got to ask you one more thing about the playoffs, man. Who do you think's going to take it? Who does Jameis think is going to be hosting that Lombardi this year? Man,
I really think that the Seahawks, I think they're gonna come out the NFC side, man. And I'm kind of in between on the AFC because like Josh, I'm a big fan of Josh.
Oh yeah.
And I think like what better year than this year for him to do it, right? No Pat, no Joe, no Lamar. Like he's the head guy on that side, right? But when you look at Denver, when you look at New England, and you look at the Houston Texans, I don't see Buffalo beating them. I just don't. Like, the AFC is really a toss-up. And I want to say, I really want to say it's going to be between the Rams and the Seahawks on the NFC. I want to. But, man, when I see that Seahawks defense run around,
the energy, man. Talk about that passion.
It's exciting. Yes. And you see that in them.
The whole team.
And I'm not saying that the Rams don't have that, right? I believe they do. But you see it, like you can sense it. I feel like the best two teams, I feel like it's three great teams. Great teams. I feel like the Seahawks, the freaking New England Patriots, and the Houston Texans are great teams. I believe the Denver Broncos, they have the chance to win it all. Right? I do, because of their head coach in Sean Payton. But I want to see an AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans.
Woo!
And I believe whoever wins out of that is going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
I really believe. But I go back to, because I've been talking in circles, I go back to Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can find a way to beat the Denver Broncos this week,
yeah,
I don't see nobody stop. I think that's the confidence that he
It
needs.
feels
man.
like the Bills have the trump card, man. It really does, man. But I'm excited for this next week of football, man, because it's whoever.
It's the best.
It's going to be so much fun seeing
Nothing
how
but
all
good
this shit
games.
plays out, man. Exactly. It's going to be a fucking blast, man. But let's get into this last segment. We always end these conversations with a little bit of "we gotta ask." You can tell us to fuck off, and you don't have to answer, but we gotta ask, man.
Have you been working on the hard count?
I have. I eliminated somebody jump off sides.
You got rid of that?
You know what I'm saying? I did. I did.
I like
but
that though.
Yeah! 180! What's that? Hot! Turbo, what's that? Somebody jump off sides, damn!
it was elite. You know,
Yes, it was.
But when you think about it, if it wasn't cold, I would have got
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
When you playing in cold weather, it's very
You don't
tough.
feel
Like
very
very tough
jumpy.
to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just like I'm froze.
Yep.
Get it snapped off.
I'm stuck
You know what I'm
here.
saying? Like, so that's why.
I just loved it because there's that point where you're doing the dummy count where nobody jumping on this.
I don't want anything to do with it. I fucking hate the whole dummy count. Like, let's have a play ready to run. Let's try and get them off sides first, but let's just run a fucking
Yeah.
play, man.
I think it has its time, right? It, like when the clock about to run out, like when you're just trying to get a free 5 yards, when you got like a second and short.
What's your favorite hard count to try and get a team off sides?
My favorite hard count is they call it like the Green Bay cadence. Is when you have a cadence and you're just going through the cadence, and as soon as somebody jumps, we locked in, they snap the ball, and we go 4 verts. Right, that's my favorite. You get a free
shot.
play. You know,
Yeah.
I argued so much with our staff this year about like why isn't that in?
Yeah.
You got a smart center, you got guys that can run. Like that play, like you saw Aaron Rodgers did it last game. The only completion he had over freaking 30 yards was when he got up on the center.
He's been
got the
doing
guys.
it his whole career, man.
Man, he's been doing it his whole life. And they try to call it the Green Bay cadence. It's not. It's just if a guy jump off sides, I got a
we
smart
should do it
center.
every time.
Snap it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get a free play.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think sometimes in the past where we've had issues with it is like, is it a run play? Is the tackle blocking? Are we always just going to do a vertical if we get them off sides? So you kind of got to differentiate. It's really, if it's a pass play, dude, if somebody jumps off sides, just take a shot. That's what it should be, right?
But look at this. If you got regular one-word football plays, which we had, if you got one-word football plays with alerts, with motions, with freaking protection adjustments, you should be able to have a single cadence. And in that single cadence, this cadence right here, we're going to call this the Jason Kelsey cadence. And in this cadence is one protection and it's one concept.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Yeah.
I can get in the hole and call, all right, fake 37 wide zone right, boot right, Z post, X cross, and say on the JK.
Yeah.
And everybody know what to freaking do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On the JK if somebody jump off sides.
Yes.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't running that
For sure.
white cross. I know that.
You going down. You about to score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
baby.
You're not.
Oh man, you played with one of the greatest ever in Drew Brees, man. What was it like playing, being in the locker room with him, man? He's obviously, one of the best that has ever done it. Walter Payton, Man of the Year. The guy just seems like his character and his realness oozes out of him, man. What was the best thing you learned from Drew? What was it like playing with him?
The best thing I learned from him was, and it helped me so much with my game, is focusing on the process and not the outcome. Like, he was so process oriented, man. Like, just his details with his footwork to different concepts, man. And it all stemmed from, again, what we talked about earlier, the continuity that he and Sean had in that offense. He mastered everything that offense had to give. And at the quarterback position, doing that for a very long time at a high level, it just speaks in volumes of his work ethic and just the love that he had for his teammates, man. So I'm so grateful for Drew and what he helped me, man, because that 1 year with him, that helped elevate me to have one of the best years of my career. It was shortly lived because I got hurt, but like, he helped me just with my process of, what first and second down really is. First and second down down like we playing Canadian football, right? Like we like what? How do you play? You know what the term behind Canadian football is? Hey, let's get first downs on first and second down, and let's eliminate third down, right? Let's eliminate it.
Canadian game, you only get 3 downs in the Canadian.
Yeah, you only get 3 downs. And with him, just his approach to everything. One of the greatest stories I had, man. We were losing to the Las Vegas Raiders, and we were down like 2 scores, and Drew, he had a good game, but like we were coming back, and like we had some shots down the field that were like open to me, that was open. Like the offensive line had great protection, and I was like, I asked him on the sideline, I'm like, Drew, like, hey man, like we down 2 scores, like you ain't trying to push the ball. He was like, man, I never let a mistake that I made earlier in the game hunt me through the remainder of the game, right? Because I think he threw an interception early in that game, and he was just like, man, I'm gonna stick with my process, right? I'm not gonna allow just the greed of wanting to get something right then impact with my process that I have for this 2-minute drive, for this drive to help us get back in the game, right? And then the next week we went and played freaking the LA Chargers, and he was in that same position, and he went down dink dunk dink dunk dink, and end up winning the game for us by just staying on his process. Another thing that I learned from him, man, like on Saturdays when everybody's gone out the building, I would take a chair and I would just sit on a chair, and Drew would go through 2 minutes on air by himself, calling the calls. Champagne blessed us, like he allowed us to call the calls during 2 minutes. So he would go down the field, up and down the field, at least 3 or 4 times, calling his place, like really visualizing that moment. So I practiced that in my training as well, man. So just to see the attention to detail that he had, even when I was only with him on his last year,
still though,
man, and to see what he went through.
Well, you saw the full product. That's what the cool part of it is, that you saw the accumulation of all those years into one, and you have to see what the finished product looked like. Yeah,
I did, man. And just to see what he was overcoming that last year with injury and all this and that, man, it was really a sight to see, man. I'm very grateful for Drew Brees.
How about it, man? I gotta ask this one, man. Your Florida State days, you were known to be on the football field and the diamond. Yeah. Has it ever crossed your mind to just, pick up the old wooden bat and go out there and see if you still got it?
Man, I actually cross-trained. Like 2 years ago, I started back swinging the bat, man, because I realized that I lost all of my torque and my rotation, man, because every single year, like growing up, like when I stopped football, I went straight into baseball, right? I did my shoulder care, I did my fielding work, I did my tee work, I did everything that I would do for baseball, because I actually trained harder at baseball than I did football. And once I get to the league, hey, let's work on this, and I'm just like, man, my first 5 years in the league, I lost all my wiggle. Like I came to league like freaking limber. I was able to take stuff to the house. I was like, I got to get back to building the athlete, because you see, that's what the game is. It ain't no more just stand in the pocket, look around all progressions and complete the pass. You have to be able to extend plays at the quarterback position to win in this football league now. Man. You have to. And I think that cross training with baseball has actually elevated me, gave me a few more extra years on my play because of the different movements and different actions that I do when I'm taking fly balls, when I'm fielding ground balls, when I'm swinging the baseball bat, being at different planes, man. It goes, and I try to tell young kids, like, guys, do not try to become a guru at one sport, man. Get on the basketball court, play some lacrosse, man. Play some baseball, play some football, man. Like, do not just be focused on one little thing, like, oh, my baby gonna be, the number 1 pick at a quarterback. I promise you, your baby is gonna be looking like that number 1 pick from age 8 to age 18. He gonna look just like he is. You gotta get some variety, man.
I'm with you,
man.
I'm
with you, 100%.
We played all of them. We played absolutely all of them, man. That shit was the best.
Yes, y'all are athletes, man. Y'all really are.
Not even just physically. I feel like you start to mentally take things over. Like you spacing that you see on the basketball court, you take it when
Jason,
you're just playing.
What do you know about spacing on the basketball court?
Well, I know that you do it. I take spacing from the hockey rink.
There you go. Angles and leverage. Yeah.
I still remember I started playing lacrosse, and I was playing football first. I started playing lacrosse because my buddy's
man
dead.
on the fucking lacrosse field.
I can only imagine.
Insane.
But they got all these moves. They got like a face dodge. You got a roll dodge where you're doing a spin move. All these things, and I'm like playing D-line. I'm grabbing the stick. I'm like, I'm taller than this dude. I swim him like this.
Yeah.
Just pull a swim move out. And my coach is like, what are you doing? That ain't going to work. Bro, nobody could stop my swim move.
It was like
I'm over here swimming everybody. And now there's guys doing it in Division I lacrosse. You see guys doing it. And coach like, every time I see it, I think of you. And I'm like, yeah, that's because it's a good move.
Coach, if you ain't seen it, what make you think that they saw it? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't never going to work. Well, coach, if you ain't never seen it before, do you think they ever seen it before? So I know it's going to work.
All right, last question. Do you have a welcome to the NFL moment?
Well, yes, I have a iconic welcome to the NFL moment. I got two for you. Well, my very first pass in the NFL was a touchdown. And a lot of people can never say that. Yes, it was a Cody Simpson ball on a pick six. So my very first pass, that was a welcome to the. Like, so look, this is the craziest thing, right?
We both threw a pick on our first. Man, that's why I knew you were my brother, man. Both of our first NFL passes were interceptions, man. Let's go.
Listen, though, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you about this. So I'm with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we got Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is iconic. He come from the Tony Dungy tree. It's gonna be 2 Tampa, spot drop 3, or man. Right, and he'll probably bring a 5-man rush pressure, you know what I'm saying, play zone, 5 zone in the back end. Man, our first game was the great Dick LeBeau. All that defense, all the different looks,
pressure.
odd fronts, pressures. Yeah. Man, the first third down was 3rd and 6. Man, they ran 2-man. I'm coming from college. Man, I ain't seen 2-man all year. Man, I set it up, man. I throw a little choice route outbreak, man. Cody Simpson jumped that thing, undercut. I was like, oh my God. I had to hop on my horse, and I was like, well, it was a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Now, but at first I was pissed. I was like, man, I wasn't prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think they was gonna play no 2-man. I was like, what is 2-man?
That's too funny.
You know? First, third down, you play 2-man. Like, welcome to the NFL. Like, I thought I was an athletic quarterback. You played me 2-man?
Yeah.
like now, and then look, nowadays, you watching film, you're like, oh yeah, they play 2-man. Oh, some people say cover 5.
Nobody's got me.
And you hear the quarterback coach, man, it's embarrassing if they play 2-man against you. Looking over, and I'm just like, oh man. Like, dang.
Well,
so it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing that they played 2-man against me.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. And it worked. I should have ran.
Nobody's got you. That's too fucking good, man. Well, Jameis, man, appreciate the time, appreciate the stories, appreciate the wisdom. Best of luck with you over there in New York in the future, man. Always a huge fan of you as a person, man. And can't thank you enough for jumping on with us, brother. Man, I retweet that to both of y'all, man. You know how much respect I have for you, Jason, man, for what you just done for this game, man. And Travis, as you continue to just inspire a whole generation of OGs, bro, the way that you kill it, the way that you dominate, bro. Thank you so much for the passion and the energy, you know what I'm saying? Because like you always say, what you always say? You gotta fight. No, y'all come on, bro. And you be fighting. You're the best. You be fighting. And that's the energy that we have, the fact that you know where I was going. I knew exactly. You already know, man. It's that passion, baby. You already know. So thank y'all, man. Love you, brother. You already know, man. All love.